Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Tonight, we are going to take a look at another tropical shark species. It's been a while, I think, since we've done a tropical. We did the graceful shark last week, but I guess that kind of counts. But this is a reef species, which I'm really excited about. It's the Ornate Wobbegong, Orectolobus ornatus, and it's been a while since we've seen shark footage, so I'm really psyched for it. So, hey Howard, what's up? Good evening. Welcome back. Hope you had a really good weekend. It's been beautiful down here. Like the weather has been really nice. It feels like summer, so I'm pretty psyched. So, but yeah, hope you had a good weekend. And I love this drawing. So, thank you so much for sending this over. This is the Ornate Wobbegong with a triple banded butterfly fish. And it just looks awesome. The biggest thing is like the color pattern, which is one of the ways to identify wobbegong species or to tell them apart from each other. And the cool thing about wobbegongs is that there are quite a handful of species, and their color patterns are so intricate that I think it does take kind of like a little bit of expertise to tell them apart. And I'm frankly not there yet, just because it's like these are like Pacific species that I'm really not as familiar with. We do not have any wobbegongs in the Atlantic, so it's a really cool group. It's a very unique group to like the Pacific region, or I guess like the non-Atlantic area, because I do think some wobbegongs do enter the Indian Ocean. So yeah, hey Minjis, welcome back. Good to see you. Yeah, summer weather. So I'm getting really excited. Been going outside more, getting some sunshine. I'm on week 2. I've broken up like the online portion of my scuba course into like different weeks. So I'm on week 2 right now and learning more about like pressure and just kind of like refreshing that. And it's like I love scuba diving. It's been a while since I've done it, but it's quite scary. Like in some ways, it's like when you gain into the physics of it, it's been like so that's been most of my weekend, has been kind of like learning more about that. And then Mother's Day, of course, my brother and I had a nice time with our mom yesterday. So yeah, so just kind of random stuff. But I am excited about this shark. I'm excited to get back into some footage. And Howard, this looks really great. Thank you so much for sending this over and just for really nailing that color pattern and like getting that ornate wobbegong look, because it's, again, there's like so many different species of wobbegongs, and each one looks like, unique from one another. So this looks really cool. I also love the additional fauna in these illustrations, and like that triple banded butterfly fish, super fun. Also, I don't think I've ever mentioned this on the stream, but like butterfly fish are kind of one of my favorite like scuba divers or like snorkelers really love seeing, or I guess a lot of like marine biology people really love seeing like nudibranchs on like like whenever they're checking out like an ocean zone, where because like there's so many different variations of nudibranchs, they all look colorful and different. And like I feel that way about butterfly fish. I mean I feel that way about nudibranchs too, but butterfly fish like are so cool to me because they're so small and like unique, as far as like they look so different in different parts of the world. It's like the same body plan but different color palettes. The ones that I really like especially are the spot fin butterfly fish and the 4-eye butterfly fish. These are classic like Florida migrants, like Florida species that actually do come up north a little bit. The spot fin butterfly fish can be actually in the bay, so it's really rare, but it does wander up here sometimes. So cuttlefish, that's another great one. And actually that's a really cool group, because like that is also let me look that up really quick. I'm curious where cuttlefish range, because I was about to say they are not in the Atlantic, but I actually might be wrong about that. But that's a really cool group. What's really fun is like my girlfriend and I have been watching Blue Planet. We've been rewatching the 2001 Blue Planet, and they actually have some great cuttlefish. I forgot how much. I forgot how much biodiversity both Blue Planets have a lot of biodiversity, but I forgot how much like the first one had, and they covered like cuttlefish, marine worms, like other marine invertebrates. It sounds like and like deep sea vents and stuff. So, sorry, that just reminded me of the cuttlefish episode, but let's see. I do want to look up the range. Oh, there are Mediterranean cuttlefish. Wow. totally absent from the Americas. Okay, so they don't live here. They don't live in the Americas, but incredibly, they are in the Mediterranean, the North and Baltic Seas. That's so cool. Very cool. All right, awesome. Did not know that. So, and great pick. Like cuttlefish just are, they're so intelligent, and like just the way they could change their color. It's just and shape to like blend in with the surroundings. It's actually, that's a cool, in a weird way, kind of a cool segue back to the wobbegong, because both wobbegong and cuttlefish, masters of camouflage in different ways, but masters of camouflage. And I'm really excited about tonight because not only do we have really cool footage on the wobbegong, but we also have cool snippets of research, including like the morphology of like the wobbegong's barbels may be related to being able to detect specific vibrations in the water, as far as being that expert ambush predator lying in wait. Being able to detect those vibrations at such a minute scale that they're able to instantly react to anything around them. So I'm super excited to dive in. But thank you again, Howard. This looks so cool. I really, really love this work, and especially just capturing that specific pattern to the Ornate Wobbegong. So yeah, I think without further ado, let's check it out and dive in to... It's been a while since we've had footage, but here we are. So this is an Ornate Wobbegong. It's just kind of sliding with the currents, which is so cool. And like you can see, it's perfectly fine. It definitely has control, but it's just kind of fun to see it just go with the flow. And actually, far from being a passive shark, like far from being a species that is just, like lazy, like not lazy, but sluggish. Sluggish is the right word that sometimes is ascribed to sharks. You can see that this guy is on the move and definitely a lot more attuned to his surroundings and definitely kind of scoping out the area. Not moving away from the filmmaker and just kind of choosing a new position. It's so cool to see. Just like, what is making this little guy tick, and like where is he trying to go and what is he trying to accomplish here? Because it's like usually with... I feel like with different shark footage, we've seen sharks either be very, like, bottom-dwelling sharks be kind of sluggish and slow or try to avoid divers, or, like active sharks being in the water column avoiding divers as well. But this wobbegong is, clearly, like, trying to stick to the same area. And you can tell there's a lot going on there as far as, he's... I actually really love this footage. He's checking out something in this like little hole. He's surrounded by these beautiful fish, which I'm sure he would be more than happy to snap up if he wanted to. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to think about like what is he looking for. This is also great to see the movement of this beautiful shark. Those like that nice compressed body, the broad pectoral fins with that gorgeous color palette on, or color pattern. The barbels at the front of the mouth looking like seaweed tendrils. Such good camouflage, such good disguise for lying in wait. And like I love the shark. This is so cool. Like I just love that it's just it's like it's not really making an active effort to get away. It's just kind of like, something is... It's kind of interesting to see how it's like, making its decisions in terms of like, it doesn't really want to leave this area, but it's definitely active. It definitely is, like not really trying to like hide in plain sight. It's definitely very much active in this scenario. It's so cool. I love like the dark saddles, like this rich dark like almost like caramel. Oh, there we go. Caramel saddles. No. Sorry about the ads. I hate ads. But I was just gonna say, like, I love the saddles on this species, and I want to see if I can skip the ad because we are talking about wobbegons. We are not talking about weight at all. There we go. This YouTuber is Thierry Racotoar Ivelo, so I definitely subscribed and I'm gonna like this video because it looks awesome. It's beautiful, high-quality footage of this species. And again, like, it's actually extremely fascinating behavior where it's not avoidant, it's not hiding, but it's also like not necessarily predating. I'm kind of curious, and please leave a comment what you think the shark is kind of up to, as far as, is he... I just feel like there is some fidelity where it's like he's kind of he wants to stay in the zone. And, it's interesting to kind of keep in mind that there is a diver next to him. And so is he kind of being mindful of the diver? Does he want to stay in the spot, but he's getting agitated by the diver and wants to leave? Or is he kind of attracted to something in the area, but not really sure what it is? It's so cool. It's actually like... I forget the proper name for this field. I guess you called animal behavior. I feel like there's a better name for it, but like it is actually really cool for any kind of animal. If you're on the trail, or if you are in like an aquarium or zoo, or like if you're in the wild, like in this scenario, it's cool to just sit and watch and kind of really start asking the questions in terms of like what makes an animal tick, like what is making an animal make these decisions, and some of it's a really complex exchange of sensory reactions and then also cognition, depending on the kind of animal. Like for something that's kind of like a little bit, I don't want to say simple, but like say like an ant, you can easily see how a lot of... Actually no, ant's not a good example because ants are actually very social, famously social, like E.O. Wilson. Believe did a lot of work with ants and was a really very very accomplished biologist, and I think a sociologist because of his ant studies. But anyway, I'm trying to think of a good example. Maybe like a worm. Like if you have a worm and you study a worm and you're like looking at a worm's behavior, for the most part you can kind of maybe cue in on chemical stimuli, like does it smell something, or like pressure, does it feel something, or like not really sight so much depending on the species, but it's kind of easy to figure out what's guiding it in certain directions and guiding certain movements. But for more complex animals like sharks, and especially like like primates or whales, it kind of gets interesting when you think about cognition and kind of putting that into the mix in terms of like what is it thinking and what does it want and why is it going here, and like what stimuli are actually triggering it in terms of like, does it smell something, does it see something, does it hear something, does it feel something, is it hungry, like is it frightened? Like you have all these factors, but then when you get like into more and more cognition with like larger and larger brains, like it gets more and more complicated, and it's a really cool field. Like I really love animal behavior. I think it's a fascinating field, and I guess the point of that spiel is if you sit with nature and take time to study it and take time to just kind of let it be, you get to pick up on things and like see like little nuances and layers of behavior that may reveal something. So and on that note, like, I'm curious if, as we continue to watch this little guy, and I shouldn't say little guy, that's actually a pretty big shark, for this species. That's a good size, for this species, so this is definitely an adult, so, it's hard to tell if it's fully mature, but it is definitely not a juvenile wobbegong. Really good size, really robust shape. Definitely well fed. Love those two, the dorsal fins, like how they're equally sized. And again, the color, the pattern is just gorgeous, perfectly blending in with the reef environment, but so intricate on its own. Like such an incredible pattern. Like that. Oh, this is really cool. Okay, that's something new. So that shot. This is actually really cool. Look how the shark moves its pectoral fins. Sorry, that actually really... Let me see if I can slow that down. We'll slow that down. Also, I had a delicious caramel macchiato earlier today, and the espresso might be kicking in, so I might be a little bit more wired tonight than usual. Alright, but anyway, check out the fins. Like, look how well that they... like articulated they are, as far as like you think of shark fins as typically stiff, but we've talked about a couple times, like, and we've seen a couple times on our streams that sharks actually do have a degree of mobility with their fins depending on the species. Some sharks use their fins to walk on the seabed, which is unbelievable. But this is really cool. In this particular shot, this shark is like almost like flapping, like kind of pushing water down with its pectoral fins. Because it's like in this kind of tight crevice, and it's actually like seeming like to put it's almost acting like a ray as far as like pushing the water down, which is super cool. It's super cool to see that degree of flexibility in the fins, and like see how they help the shark get out of this kind of like tight spot. So very cool to see that. Not really something you see as far as shark locomotion. So yeah. I'm sorry, one more time, and I promise we'll move on from this at normal speed, but flapping like a ray. That's so cool. That is so cool to see that. Actually, let me play that back on normal speed. I also love him looking into this like crevice, just kind of like staring down. It's very adorable. But yeah, that's amazing behavior from a shark, just kind of like flapping, like flapping the fins, the pectoral fins. Because again, it's just like we think of sharks typically having rigid fins with little mobility. That was also a plot point in Deep Blue Sea, a '90s movie about mako sharks being, I don't know, crazy. But it's cool to see like this species of shark just having such a high degree of flexibility with the fins, and there's something in here that is drawing it in. he really likes this hole. I wonder if maybe I was about to say maybe this is a place where he likes to be, or maybe he's checking out a good ambush spot, because wobbegons do like to hide in crevices, and maybe he was checking that particular crevice out as a spot for like a good spot for hunting. And maybe it doesn't suit its needs, because I'm noticing that there's a lot of sea urchins in that particular crevice. And so maybe what he's doing, or a part of like what he's doing, is like he's kind of seeking out a good little hunting patch in terms of like, can he fit into some of these places. So really phenomenal footage, looks really amazing. So awesome YouTube channel, Theory Racco Toar Velo. So please like and subscribe, and let me just catch up on the comments. So let's see. I love that comment, Minjus. I want to give it a little pat on the head. Yeah, Roomba on the mission. Love that. Oh, I love these comments. Howard, scoping out larger fish, maybe looking for his favorite fish, maybe. It might be because the diver provoked. That is very, very possible. It could be an interesting thing. It could be a combination of those things, where it could be that maybe this wobbegong was looking for a site, like was looking for a place where it, like a hunting patch or a hunting crevice, and then the divers came in, are checking it out, which is so cool. They're filming it, and the shark is getting agitated and is like, I want to keep looking here, but like I also want to mind my distance, but I want to keep looking. It could be a combination of those things. It's so cool. So here's another one, Ornate Wobbegong off Shelly Beach, Cronulla, and this is a cool channel called Australasian Fishes. So definitely want to like that. Here we go, and subscribe. So this may be the end game of what the other individual is doing. This is an Ornate Wobbegong, nicely wedged into a crevice. So great place for an unsuspecting fish to kind of maybe, turn the corner and get snapped up by its powerful jaws. I really love seeing that the eye is almost like marbly looking, like very cloudy looking in this particular shot. So that almost reminds me of like a snake's eye. When the snake is about to shed their skin, they get cloudy eyes because that the skin covers the entire snake's body, and that protective covering is going to go. So it almost reminds me of that. Of course, wobbegongs don't do, or no shark does that, but still, really cool to see. Love, again, that color palette blending perfectly, and it's really cool to see like the shark lying in an environment that is so close to like its actual color pattern. So Howard made a comment, masters of camouflage, and like, yes, absolutely. Like it fits so well, which is so cool. Man, I might have mentioned this before. I definitely mentioned this on our first wobbegong episode, but wobbegongs were Steve Irwin's favorite shark. That was his favorite shark. I forget which species. I think it was the it's not the ornate wobbegong. I mean, it could be the ornate wobbegong because it is an Australian species, but there was another one, the spotted wobbegong, I think, was technically his favorite, but I think he loved all of them no matter what. So just kind of fun trivia. Yeah, I think it is the spotted wobbegong, but just like kind of fun trivia. Wobbegong's are Steve Irwin's favorite shark. So yeah. And no wonder. I think like it's just so cool like that they're master ambush predators, beautifully camouflaged. Kind of like, you know, just I love that comment, Minjas, in terms of like you kind of want to pet it because it is kind of, it's beautiful, kind of adorable, but it also is like, you know, it's a I was about to say it's a badass. I mean, it's a shark you don't mess around with. On that note, we saw on the International Shark Attack file last week that wobbegongs have been implicated in unprovoked attacks. And more often than not, there's probably a lot of provoked attacks on wobbegongs where divers do get too close, and they unfortunately get the receiving end of their needly teeth that, like, their jaws work like a bear trap, as far as, like, you know, it's like once you know, you get in, you can't really get out. They have that recurved needly teeth that's great for catching fish, but it's not a pleasant bite at all. No bite is pleasant, but wobbegongs are especially unpleasant. So, and it's kind of funny. They remind me of angel sharks in that way, because angel sharks are nippers as well. Like, angel sharks are infamous for, like, you know, being kind of pugnacious and biting. So, hey, Roy, what's up? Welcome back. Good to have you. Tonight we've got the Ornate Wobbegong. Super excited for that. Oh, hey. Howard, this is a great question. Let me start this. Is fin flapping a precursor of walking? Excellent question, and that actually brings up a really good point. Ornate wobbegongs and the epaulet sharks, they are in the same order, Orectolobiforms. So, you know, it's kind of cool to see that, like, okay, we definitely know Orectolobiforms have a high degree of mobility, or some of the Orectolobiforms have a high degree of mobility in their fins. I believe one of our cat sharks that we covered recently also has a degree of fin mobility, which makes sense because they occupy a similar niche to the other carpet sharks. So, Minjas is so gorgeous and cute, predatory, and a shark. Yeah, it's like the wobbegong's like the ultimate of all the world. So. Yes, Howard, I want to get bit by one. Oh, yes. Someone should sell carpets wobbegong colors. That's a great idea. That's I mean, honestly, guys, that's a business model. We should do that. You know, like that's a really cool idea, honestly. So, like making wobbegong theme, like carpets, maybe not curtains, but like carpets, rugs. That's actually a really cool idea. Here's another wobbegong exploring crevices, and this time near seagrass, which is so cool to kind of like demarcate the shark from its surroundings with the seagrass. Yet, you know what? Blending into the seagrass right there, like, it does look like a patch of rock. You know, so it's like, that's actually really cool that the shark, you know, clearly is not, like, camouflaged with the seagrass. I mean, as far as, like, it's not green, but once it just sits down and lies in wait, like, you can easily pass over it because it looks like, you know, a patch of rock that the seagrass is growing around. Look at that. These are so cool. Okay, these sharks are awesome. Like, it's such a cool species as far as, like, being that master camouflage, or master of camouflage. And this is actually cool. This geologic feature, this kind of crevice right here, looks a little similar to some of the clips we were seeing earlier. Oh man, so cool. So, I think what we should do is, we fortunately have a Florida Museum of Natural History profile on the Ornate Wobbegong. Oh, and I think we have one more. Oh, we do have one more. Okay. One more very short clip, but it does look really good. Of a Ornate Wobbegong just sitting, lying in wait with a beautiful shimmering school of fish right above it, completely unaware of the danger below. That is so cool. Let me rewind that and make it slower, because that's just such a cool clip. Alright, so yeah, just all, like, hundreds of fish no idea that there is a shark right below them. Such a cool shot, like such a cool concept of like, you know, you think you're in a safe place in the ocean, and then danger lurks right beneath. So it's so cool. Again, beautifully camouflaged with its surroundings. The broken pattern on its body just like really mirrors just the the random growth of the seabed, like the random, not biofouling because you're not fouling anything, but like algae growth, seaweed growth, like depending on the area, coral growth, like it just like it always grows at random, and so you have this like equally random color palette that just blends in so perfectly. And yet the cool thing is, even though it's random, you can still get a little degree of let's see a good example, because we'll get some photos of this. You still get a little bit of a degree of like symmetry, or like, and I think the term is like bilateral symmetry, because like look at this, like, white stripe to the left, white stripe to the right, dark spot to the left, dark spot to the right. Like if you were to look the Wobbegong and like look at each side, it's like each side is a perfect mirror of each other. This is a better example. This is a better example of what I'm kind of trying to describe. Where, don't want to get away from that, because it's really cool to see that the color, the pattern is broken up, and it completely works as far as camouflage for fish. But then again, if you like split it down the middle, the sides are equal as far as like look how like mirrored they are. Like they are perfect mirrors of each other, like the left side and the right side. So it's actually really cool to see that there's that degree of organization, that the overall picture is random. This color palette like looks random and everything, like looks like a broken seabed, but like there's still that bilateral symmetry there, which is so cool. Like in terms of like, it didn't really have to be like that. It could have been just like this complete weird zigzag that didn't make any sense, But there's this, you could see this order within the chaos as far as like, bilateral symmetry going straight down the middle of the shark, where it's like, white patch, eye, streak, saddle. Like it just, it's almost perfectly equal mirrors of each other. It's so cool to see that. So, how do I get out of here? Oh, I got it. I got this. Okay. Sorry about the audio. Audio crunchy. I've never seen that new adjective for that, which is great. So crunchy. I hope crunchy is somewhat of an improvement, but. Oh, this is cool. They have the exact same pattern as a leopard gecko, like the several round patches to lighter thin outlines. Really cool. I've never, let's check that out. Actually, I don't want to crash my bandwidth, so, let's see. Well, you know what, screw it. Let's just crash the bandwidth. Leopard gecko. I'm actually really curious about that. Ooh, very cool. Yeah, with like the saddles right there. And it's like the same concept where it's like it is bilateral symmetry, as far as like, that's so cool. Good call, Ninjas. Very cool. So, let's see. The nice thing is Florida Museum of Natural History has a breakdown of the Ornate Wobbegong, which is great because usually Florida Museum focuses more on Atlantic species, and I'm really excited that they have a nice breakdown of a Pacific species. Because since these live in the Pacific, I'm not as familiar with them, so I could certainly benefit from some of the basics of the Wobbegong. So let's dive into it. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Yeah, crunchy because I gotcha. It was less ear biting than usual. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so sorry about my audio issues. Like I need to get some kind of audio system improvement. So I honestly think it might be the age of my computer, to be honest. And like, I love this guy. It's been with me for a very long time, but I think that might be the root issue. But anyway, but I think what we should do is we should check out the Ornate Wobbegong's Florida Museum of Natural History profile, And, we can check back with the footage if we find anything new. We also have a lot of cool pieces of information tonight, like research. So I'm excited to dive in. So here we go. So Ornate Wobbegong, Orectolobus ornatus. Type of carpet shark, has a flat head and stocky body with a stout tail. It has nasal barbels and dermal lobes forming a fringe around the front of its face. So that is such a cool feature because, again, it looks like tendrils on a reef. So like it looks like seaweed. It literally looks like seaweed. It's so cool. Love that color description. Golden brown with dark, broad saddles. A nocturnal hunter, it prefers bays and shallow reefs, and because of its markings and its daytime sluggishness, it is easy for unexpected human encounters to result in bites. Pretty cool detail. I will say again, based on that first clip, I mean, maybe this is a unique individual, but I would not describe this particular individual as sluggish. Even though, I know in that exact shot he's drifting on the seabed, but see how active he becomes as far as kind of patrolling, potentially looking for a new spot, potentially trying to mind the divers. It's not a shark that is maybe a white tip reef shark sitting on the seabed, actively pumping water over its gills. This guy, in this particular shot at least, this guy is on the move looking for something. So, pretty cool. Very cool. Common names: the Ornate Wobbegong, the Banded Wobbegong. Now this one actually gets tricky because Banded Wobbegong has come up quite a lot when I was kind of preparing for tonight's stream. So, excuse me. And I'll keep that in mind. But let's keep that in mind as we kind of look through papers or new research on the species. Because, Ornate Wobbegong is the proper English name, but Banded Wobbegong does come up quite a lot. So, carpet shark, which is not very helpful because carpet shark usually applies to the entire order over Orectolobiformes, and Gulf Wobbegong, which I've not heard of before. In Danish, it's the Stribet Wobbegong, which is a cool name actually. Tapicero ornamentado in Spanish, it's a really cool. Swedish is the Brokig Wobbegong. I really like that. I really love that Wobbegong is, kind of retained throughout the languages. That's actually really cool. So, carpet shark. I've never heard that. I love it. LOL. Yeah. So, it's cool because it's and actually that brings up a good point where the shark order names are very weird when you think about them, because it's Hexanchiforms are called the frilled and cow sharks, which is really weird. Squatiniforms are angel sharks. That makes sense. That's a great name. Orectolobiforms are carpet sharks, which are kind of not that great. It's not a great name because that's usually the term for the whole order, but it's that includes the whale shark, which is definitely not a carpet. It's a pelagic. It's the greatest pelagic swimmer, or nurse sharks, which are kind of I mean, I guess you could say nurse sharks are. I mean, they do spend a lot of time on the seabed, but carpet shark is a little bit of a weird term. Lambdaforms, mackerel sharks, I think that works for the most part. I mean, there's some exceptions, like the megamouth, or the basket shark. It's kind of hard to look at them and be like, those aren't really mackerel sharks, but. I mean, they are, but they don't eat mackerel. So, the worst one I think is Carchariniforms, which are the requiem sharks, which makes I don't even know what that means. So, as far as it's a weird name because requiem. If I recall correctly, that's a funeral march or something, or a mourning kind of thing, a harbinger of. It's weird. It's like. Requiem sharks, you can say that for maybe the big ones like bull sharks and stuff, but you can't really say that about the cute cat sharks, which are completely harmless. So it's it's weird terms. At the order level, it gets kind of weird as far as sharks go. So, sorry, random side tangent, but okay. Importance to humans. There's currently limited interest in the Ornate Wobbegong by both commercial and recreational fisheries, in part due to management regulations and their small size. Nice. It does face some threat from commercial fisheries in eastern Australia and New South Wales, where they could be both a target species or taken as bycatch. The flesh of this wobbegong is sometimes marketed locally, and there's no demand for their fins. However, the skin has historically been used for making leather due to its toughness and attractive coloration. Well, that's awful. But this is a good tangent to the IUCN. The ornate wobbegong is least concern, so this is really great to see that this beautiful animal is actually comparatively doing okay. So it lives in eastern Australia, including the Great Barrier Reef, which is super cool to see. And it's a species that is least concerned, so it's actually okay. Let's check out in detail what's going on with the ornate wobbegong. The ornate wobbegong is an Australian endemic species. Previous records from Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, and Japan could be different undescribed species of wobbegons. A biologically sensitive species, site-attached within its relatively shallow water range, and previously caught in commercial and recreational fisheries as a target species and as bycatch. In New South Wales, wobbegong catches combining all fishing methods and fisheries declined by more than 50% between 1997-98 and 2007-08, after which it stabilized to around 20 tons. This led to all three species of wobbegons occurring in New South Wales, including the ornate wobbegong, to be regionally listed as vulnerable in New South Wales. However, fishing effort reported as the number of days fished also declined between 91 and 08-09, resulting in catch rate being relatively constant around 15 kilograms per fishing days from 91 until 2009. Fishing effort and ensuing catch rates should, however, be used with caution because it is coarsely reported as a number of days fished and does not account for the number of hooks or use or soak times. Just as reference, soak time is the amount of time a hook is in the water as far as fishing goes. And fisheries metrics do get really tricky because, for many species, catch per unit effort is appropriate, but there's also quite a few species where it's like it really isn't. Like when you think about species that are bottom dwelling or eat plankton, for example, you can't really apply that. So there's nuances there. But anyway, since September 2006, wobbegons have been included in the daily trip limit for a specific list of shark species to 1 ton for a 24-hour period, 2 tons for 48 hours. New management regulations in May 2008 introduced a daily limit of 6 wobbegons. Okay, minimum size limit of 180 centimeters for the ornate wobbegong and the banded wobbegong, implemented between 2008 and 2013, effectively protected the ornate wobbegong since its maximum size is about 120 centimeters total length. Although the minimum size limit is no longer applicable, wobbegons are no longer targeted to the same extent as they used to be because of the trip limit implemented in 2008. So this is really cool. This is fisheries management that has succeeded, and again, go Australia. Like, Australia always does this. Like, it's really cool. Like, I mean, it's like this is like, I can't even count how many species we've seen where it's the Australian population does really well. Or like the species does really well because it lives in Australian or New Zealand waters. I know, like there are differences in like the management styles, but still, like Port Jackson sharks, doing really well. Regional populations of like, I'm trying to remember what the species was, like, because we've seen multiple species where they live in Australia, they live in Indonesia, they live in Southeast Asia, and like the Southeast Asian populations, they don't really have a lot of management or regulation in certain areas, and so those populations tend to do really poorly, but the Australian populations do pretty well comparatively, so it's really cool. Although the minimum size limit is no longer... in addition, further investigation of the New South Wales fishing catches and effort revealed that the catch per unit effort did not decrease as thought in the previous assessment. As a result, there is no evidence to infer or suspect population decline of the ornate wobbegong, and current catches are relatively low and not spread across the species distribution, resulting in the species being listed as least concern. So, super cool to see that it's not really a desired species anyway as far as fishing goes, but even so, there was protection in place, and the size limits and the wobbegong limits effectively just like stopped interest, to the benefit of the species. So that's so cool. It's not common for shark success stories to happen. It's not really common to see that sharks are doing well because of very good fisheries management practices, but it's great to see that the Ornate Wobbegong, endemic to Australia, doing extremely well. So that's so cool. Let's see. Oh, cool. Mingus. Now I want to learn all my shark order names. Yeah. So sorry, I'm like nerding out right now. Cow sharks, or I guess I'll do. How do I do this? I actually do have a very cringy video from. I made like I think my very first YouTube video breaks down the orders, but yes, Roy, go Australia. I'm gonna star that because like honestly, Australia like just does. I really appreciate what like, and actually I really appreciate the management practices in Australia, and then also like Australia's got some really good shark research programs. The style is different from America, or at least last time I checked, it's the education is different as far as I forget what the difference is. Like I think if I remember correctly, and don't quote me on this, it's okay. So in the United States, you do undergraduate, which is primarily schoolwork, your master's, which is a mix of continuing education like schoolwork and field work, and then your PhD, which is your dissertation and thesis, which is much more fieldwork oriented. And then I believe Australia is different in shark biology, where I think you do undergraduate coursework and then master's onward is field work, and there's not really that gradient if I remember correctly. I think that's the difference. I know there's a difference in style, but like I mean, I would say, and I think it is fair to say, like as far as shark biology goes, like United States and Australia, really good countries to study sharks, just as far as like where they are geographically in the world. Both are areas that intersect tropical and temperate zones, and in the case of the United States, Arctic zones as well, or polar zones. So it's like you get to see the whole range of ecosystems, as far as like opportunities to see different kinds of habitats and different kinds of sharks. Florida uniquely is like the shark attack capital of the world, so it makes sense as there's actually so many research institutions based in Florida, and that a lot of Shark Week is. I mean, I guess a lot of Shark Week is filmed in the Bahamas, but a lot of Shark Week coordinates with Florida, and like it just makes sense. So, and then in Australia, white sharks, a lot of famous white shark incidences happen in Australia. Kind of makes sense from that perspective. The Great Barrier Reef, the proximity to Indonesia, and like the incredible shark biodiversity is a huge shark biodiversity hotspot. So, kind of rambling again, but like it's cool. It's cool to see that like Australia is a really great place as far as like shark management and like shark conservation, but then also education. It's pretty cool. So, but shark orders, I do have a cringy YouTube video that I won't pull up, but it's on this channel. It's like the first video I ever made. It broke down the shark orders, but just as a fun side tangent, there's Hexantiforms, which are the cow and frilled sharks. Squaliforms, which are the dogfish sharks. So Hexantiforms are like 7 gills and 6 gills, and the frilled shark. The squaliforms are like, I mean, all dogfish, or the Greenland sleeper shark. And I think dogfish sharks is a fair name for that. Echiner rhiniforms. That is the newest order. That originally was lumped into squaliforms, but that is actually a brand new order that is reserved for the bramble sharks. So bramble shark and prickly shark, they're so different that scientists recently were like, "Yep, this is its own thing. These are not dogfish. They're kind of like their own order." So they've recently been lumped off into their own thing. Cristophoriforms are saw sharks. Saw sharks are a really good order. Ooh, yeah, Roy. Squaliforms are a high sector favorite. They're so dope. I do love that squaliforms have like the glow in the dark sharks. As far as like, it's cool to see that they have bioluminescent species. The Greenland shark is, or like other sleeper sharks are like intimidating, like big animals, like really cool and very terrifying in their own way. And then you got the cool like the pyramidal like rough sharks, like you know, the Oxynotus, like they are like swimming triangles. They're so cool looking. And then the classic dogfish, I love like the pike dogfish. It's one of my favorite. I mean, like I love all sharks, but like it's a local winter species that has a special place in my heart because it's like the only one that comes into the bay in the winter, except for the basking shark, but that's extremely rare. So, Prismaforms are saw sharks, which is good order name. Squaliforms, the angel sharks, also a good name. Angel sharks are a good name. What am I doing? Sorry. Delete, false. I did not mean that. Squatiniforms. Angel sharks. Squatiniforms are the angel sharks. They're squat. So they're squat like a pancake. Squat. Squatiniforms. So what I get? Prismaforms, Extensiforms, Chinorhiniforms, Squaliforms, Squatiniforms. I think I got those guys. Then we got Heterodontiforms, the bullhead sharks. So these are like the Port Jackson shark, the Galapagos shark, the horn shark. It's a good name because bullhead sharks, they have those crests above their eyes and they have these cute, squishy, big faces. So that's actually probably a good English name for that. Heterodontiforms is a cool Latin name. It means different teeth. It refers to the front of the mouth being spiky teeth and the back of the mouth being molar-like teeth. It's very cool. Orectolobiforms, the carpet sharks, including tonight's Wobbegong. Lambdaforms, the mackerel sharks, which is, I think, an appropriate name, mostly appropriate name for that. And then Carchariforms. I should definitely spell this right. The requiem sharks. Or ground sharks. Sometimes Carchariforms are known as ground sharks, which both names are terrible. But like, yeah, it's hard to kind of classify those sharks in a good English name because they're just all so different. And the one thing that unites them is that they have the nictitating membrane. So, yes, Roy, gotta love lambdaforms. Kind of a random thing, by the way, like I think it's called synesthesia. I don't have it, but like it's like, you know, have you heard of? I think it's synesthesia, where it's like certain individuals like associate like sounds with color or like scents with like names or something like that. Like it's like two different things that somehow get associated. And, like, for me, I kind of, like, have color vibes with the orders for some reason. So, like, this is totally random, but, like, Carchariforms, I always think of blue, you know, and I always think of, like, a kind of, like, a rich regal blue or kind of, like, an ocean blue. Like, because, it is the most specious order. You know, it's kind of, like, they evolved and radiated to such a successful degree that they kind of took over the ocean as far as like shark evolution goes. So I always kind of think of them as blue. Lambdaforms I think of as red, kind of like a steely, like, you know, iron red, you know, because they're the hardy, like, just big, like, monster sharks. Like they're just so tough. Like, I don't know. I know I probably sound crazy, but I do think it's kind of cool. Like, it's weird how it's kind of like formed in my brain. I don't know, like, as far as like just the colors. Orectolobiforms I always think of as orange just because they're vibrant and colorful. Squaliforms I always think of as green. I'm not really sure where I got the green from, but like, I don't know, like, just, you know, like, I think it's just because like green is like such like a color of like abundance and groundedness, and like some of the squaliforms are just so abundant in the world. Like dogfish are just, pike dogfish used to be just everywhere in the ocean. A lot of the most populous sharks today are the deep water lantern sharks. So, and like, I think the rest don't really have a color, but like so far. But like those are like the big ones for me, just kind of in my weird day to day. Like yeah, like Landiform's red, Cochrandiform's blue, Squaliform's green, Orectolobiform's orange. And the others, I don't really have the same kind of degree of association, but just random fun fact, like completely random fun fact. Yeah. So, but anyway, sorry, random tangent. The Ornate Wobbegong is doing well. It's least concern. I love our random tangents, by the way. It's part of the whole point of like the study party. It's super fun, but. Let's see. So we know that this species is doing well. Ooh, danger to humans. I do want to see this because they bite. The ornate wobbegong can inflict shallow but painful wounds with its sharp anterior teeth if harassed or attacked. It has been also known to swim towards nearby divers in a possibly antagonistic response. Now, this is interesting. Again, this is so much like angel sharks. There are some angel sharks that do this, like that they actually are just like, they're just pissed off and like, they will charge divers that are like, 4 times, 5 times their size. It's like, and I wonder if it's something to do with them being ambush predators or something, or like they're just annoyed or disturbed by like, such a diver just being a presence in the area that they're trying to hunt in. I'm not really sure why they do it, but like angel sharks and wobbegongs famous for like charging divers, but I blame the divers honestly, because it's like, I feel like they've got to be disturbed in that scenario, and like it's kind of amazing to see that those sharks, they're only a fraction of the size of the diver, but they will charge them and bite them. So I think I've told you guys one time I went diving when I was on the Patty system. I got bit by a sergeant major, which is the smallest little fish, a small little guy. But he did not like me. Like he is like 1/100th of my size, and like he just charged me. And like it's just like they're territorial. So fish can be like fish are brave and territorial. So it's just interesting. Ornate wobbegons have also been known to bite waders and fishers in tide pools. That would be so unpleasant. Oh, man. Imagine accidentally stepping on one. That's horrible. Humans should take care when present in areas where this wobbegong lives, as its camouflage coloration can hide this fish quite well from the unwary. According to the National Shark Attack File, there have been 32 attacks attributed to wobbegong species. Due to the similarity of wobbegong species, it is often difficult for an accurate identification. So... Oh, so that made my music pause? Hold on. I had, not the Avatar film, not it's the blue people. Oh, no, I guess it didn't. Alright. I have, I think, one of the Avatar video games, like the blue people Avatar, video games on in the background, so. Cause it's like, it just has this cool tropical vibe, I feel, so. Let's see. We talked about conservation. In areas outside of Australian waters, there's some concern for the ornate wobbegong due to habitat degradation and unregulated fisheries. It's kind of eerie that echoes exactly what I said 5 minutes ago. That's a little eerie and disconcerting. This is from Compagno 2001, by the way, so that's even worse because that's 23 years ago. So, whoa. Let's see. Geographical distribution. This is interesting because the current distribution is just Eastern Australia. So what it could be, I think it just said this. Sources such as Compagno describe their ranges including Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and Japan, but there is some concern they've been misidentified in these locations. So it sounds like the range in Indonesia here is not correct. So it sounds like that they recently separated the wobbegong species, and this is the correct current range, which is just Eastern Australia. It's still a huge range, but let's see. Habitat. Ornate wobbegongs are tropical species associated with bays, algal-covered rocky bottoms, and coral reefs of inshore waters from depths of 0 to 100 meters. Habitat selection does not seem to be tied to the abundance of prey and may instead be a product of predator avoidance. Interesting. Let me read that again. Habitat selection does not seem to be tied to the abundance of prey. It may instead be a product of predator avoidance. Interesting. So this guy, so that's so cool. So maybe so wobegons maybe by benefit of living in like prey-rich environments like coral reefs, it's like, there's going to be a constant supply of fish. So the bigger risk and the bigger issue is like I want to avoid other sharks, or other predators. I can't think of another predator aside from, I mean, unless it's a small individual, but like interesting. So the ornate wobbegong seeks prey and is active at night, while during the day it is often observed resting on the bottom. It prefers clearer water than does its close relative, the spotted wobbegong. Interesting. Biology. Cool photo. Like, really cool photo just in terms of, like, it blending in so well. I just saw this comment. I see landforms as machine steel blue. Ooh, I like that. Roy. I see the landforms as machine steel blue. They do seem that's so cool. Oh my gosh, just thank you. The random tangents are the best. Where else will I hear? Yeah, this taxonomic family is green, and I actually understand. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Roy, I really love that interpretation of lamniforms, because it's like, we're picking different colors, but we're both getting like the steely vibe. That's so cool. That's super cool. Like those sharks evoke that. It's just like there's something about them that just kind of like those are just like they're just like rockets, or like like I don't know how to describe it. They're just those are tough sharks. So. Biology. The ornate wobbegong has a broad, flattened head with small oval eyes and well-developed spiracles. So these white patches is probably not... here we go. These white patches back here might mark where the spiracles are. Let's see if we can get a better look at that. There we go. Actually, yeah. So these... Okay, that's actually a great view. There we go. And that makes sense. So these white patches right here are actually at the end of the spiracle, which is this huge opening right here. So undoubtedly, that probably... that's a contradiction. I'm going to say undoubtedly, that has to be aiding in the wobbegong breathing on the seabed. So just pumping water over its gills, that has to help it as far as breathing and maybe ejecting like debris once it snaps up a fish. But those are huge spiracles relative to the eyes, relative to the head. So that's really cool. There are skin flaps, nasal barbels with a few branches located around the margins of the snout, and a symphysial groove on the chin. Cool. 5 dermal lobes are present below and in front of each eye. It has 2 large dorsal fins that are nearly equal in size and triangular. Let's see. The anal fin is rounded and located so far posteriorly that it looks similar to the lower caudal fin lobe. I do want to check that out, because we were just talking about a different kind of carpet shark that really like just threw me for a loop. But that anal fin, it's hard to tell. I did get, there we go. It does look pretty distinct to me. That actually looks unmistakable. There we go. Yeah, I can see from a distance how that looks like a lower caudal fin lobe, but actually, that still looks like an anal fin to me, but I can definitely see from a distance how that looks like a lower caudal fin lobe. It's really cool to see that these bottom-dwelling Orlectolobiforms. I love that he's just chilling here and just taking a look down this hole. It's actually really cute. But it's really cool to me that these bottom-dwelling Orlectolobiforms have the anal fin so far back on the body to the point where it's almost fusing with the caudal fin, where it's like you have to wonder if maybe evolution like is just pushing it further and further away, because that's more beneficial to being flush with the seabed, potentially. So that's kind of my guess as far as like why it is like that, but interesting stuff. Excuse me. Let's see. Sometimes confused. Oh, I think might be the wrong article. Because, I mean, this is correct. The ornate wobbegong, but I think this little passage might have been copy and pasted from the wrong article. But actually, no, it's not. I'm sorry. I'm reading that wrong. Sorry. Sometimes confused with the ornate wobbegong, the spotted wobbegong can be distinguished by the dark saddles and indistinct circles formed by groupings of small white dots. Right, so this is the spotted wobbegong. Okay, and then let's check out the ornate wobbegong. I think I see it, but let's see if we can get a good photo. Okay, here's an ornate wobbegong. Okay, this is a really good photo of an ornate wobbegong. Let's see if we could see the differences, because this is very difficult. Let's see. It definitely looks a lot blotchier. And I think I see it. Okay, I think I do see it where you see how these like spots right here have like it's like these white rings, almost like, I forget if you call that rosettes, but like it's like these white rings with like a hollow patch in the middle, whereas like the ornate wobbegong doesn't really have that. It does have white spots, but it's a very small hollow patch in the middle. So I think that might be one way to tell it apart. I feel like the tendrils were another fact. Well, nope, no, they're not. The tendrils do look somewhat similar. It looks like the spotted wobbegong might have more tendrils. So I wonder if there's a better way to tell them apart. Let's check out Fishbase. Fishbase may have more notes on the differences. Let's see. Oh, I love this translation of the Latin name, ornatus, Latin for adorned or decorated, presumably referring to its color pattern, described as yellowish with broad dark crossbands, the hinder ones encircling the tail. Let's see. I love this note in Fishbase. Attacks waders and fishers in tide pools. So this is a big deal. Interest of fishers is limited. Its skin very tough and attractive for leather. I just want to skip ahead to see if there's any... Let's see... Okay. I think I see it, and tell me, I mean... Yeah, this is really tricky. As far as like telling us apart from other wobbegong species, this is quite difficult. Because it's like, I could definitely, and let me know what you guys see, because this is the spotted wobbegong. I could definitely see a difference. The big one being the coloration. This looks a lot more uniform and yellowish. But it's like, pattern-wise, it's kind of hard to articulate like what the difference is. So, let's see. The ornate wobbegong has conspicuous dark rectangular saddles. The lighter spaces between the saddles have dark light-centered spots, but not oscillate in appearance. Let's see. The fin margins often have dark spots. So here's these dark spots on the fin margins, and then there's the dark saddle for the ornate wobbegong. I'm gonna check Fishbase, or it's not Fishbase. My little copy of Sharks of the World really quick. Because that is a challenging... these sharks are a good challenge as far as like trying to tell them apart between species. But you know what? That is actually it. So, and that actually makes sense. And actually, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so it is the spots. Okay. So that is the major difference, and that definitely makes sense. And let's see if we can pull up another picture of a spotted woebegone for comparison. Let's see. Orectolobus maculatus. I'm kind of fixated on this, but it's important to me because I do want to learn the ways of the woebegone. I do want to figure out how you tell them apart, and I'm starting to see it now. Here we go. Really difficult though. Okay, that's actually, I like this picture a lot. Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, so that's exactly what it is. So the spotted woebegone, beautifully named as far as an English name, because it's these spots. It's these white ringed, I guess they're rosettes, but you know they look like spots. If you just focus on the white rings, you can see that it's just a thin white ring with a patch of skin in the middle. Whereas like with the ornate woebegone, it doesn't have that. It does not have any of those kinds of spots on its body. It has the white blotches with a very thin patch of skin in the middle, like a very thin patch, a very, very thin marking of like orange or tan in the middle. So spotted woebegone has big spots. The ornate woebegone has like little spots. So otherwise, like at first glance, it's like those look completely the same. But when you take a closer look, it's actually really cool to see. Here's the spotted woebegone, the big spots. Yeah, even though it has the blotches on the back, you can tell it's spotted woebegone, big spots. And then the ornate woebegone just has these like you know small white spots, like small scattering of like white spots without such a large hollow center. So now you can see it. And like those black fin margins really help because it looks like the spotted woebegone does not have that whatsoever. That's actually quite helpful. So spotted woebegone has the spots and no fin margins. Ornate woebegone has like, let's just say they're like more like speckles, and then the black fin margins. Very cool. Love these subtle differences. They're so interesting. So, yes. Oh, Minjas, I just saw your comment. The ends of their fins are different. Yes. So you're absolutely right, and that took me a while to get, honestly, because like let's check out spotted woebegones. Yeah. I mean, this might be the same individual, but spotted woebegones don't have the black marks on the fins. This spotted woebegone does not have those black marks on the fins. Let's check out some ornate woebegones. Oh, I always do this. This is zoomed in. Here we go. Okay, here's one on the seabed. He does have the black marks on the fins. That's so cool. That feature's a lot handier, actually. This does have the black mark or the dark marks on the fins, but like it's not as conspicuous, but it is there, and it does have the small spots, so it's definitely ornate woebegone. Let's see. Ooh, this is a nice photo of in life. Definitely has the black margins on the fins. Okay, so this is really helpful. Okay, let's try this one, a camouflage species or a camouflage individual. Yep, he does have the black margins right there. All right, we're doing it, guys. We're identifying woebegones. Like that's like mastery. That's like master level shark stuff. Wow, I'm really proud of us. Like high five to us, man. Like that's awesome. I mean, all of us collectively on this channel. Like, cause that's just. Literally before tonight, I could not tell two woebegones apart. Like, cause they're. I don't really work with them, and like you know, I really don't know much about them, to be honest. So it's so cool to see this. Yeah, there he goes. And actually, this is a great photo because you can see that fin articulation too. Like the fin, look how angled that is. Like the fin is like so strongly positioned upward. It's so cool. It's just so cool. There's such a cool group of sharks. All right. Well. Oh no worries, man. I just saw a comment. No worries. Yeah, no. It's like I pointed out, but I it didn't really hit me how useful of a feature that was actually. So like as far as like the black fin margin. So thank you, because it is like okay, like it totally like for me that's how I'm gonna identify an ornate wobbegong from now on. It's like okay, it's the black fin margins. Like those are the things like those intermittent dark spots on the fin margins. That's the key feature. So it's super cool. It's like I love like subtleties like that. So another random tangent. Because like this one is completely random. Is incredibly random, but there are two toads in Virginia, and actually like, most of North America, and actually they could be. I think they're in Maine. I think they're in Canada. I could be wrong, but it's the Fowler's toad and the American toad, and the difference between them is the positioning of their warts, and I cannot tell them apart. I mean these are the most common toads you could ever find. Like they're always on the trail, and like I cannot tell them apart to this day. So it's like I love those like little subtle features between species where it's like it does take expertise to kind of like really get down like into like what makes a species. Like the Carchariniforms we keep talking about. Actually, the Carcharinus the genus we keep talking about as like master shark level. I would say Wobbegons are like master shark level, just because they're just so complicated in their pattern. The true master shark level, actually, like the true shark master who should rule Shark World is whoever could tell apart a scalloped hammerhead from a Carolina hammerhead in life. Which you have to be like psychic to do that. So like, yep, I cannot do that. I would be shocked if anyone could do that, and I would be like, you know, we should give them control of all shark things. If they it's like the sword and the stone. It's like he who is able to tell a Carolina hammerhead from a scalloped hammerhead is worthy of guiding the shark future, like or she, you know, it's. That's the master level. Sorry, I've had so much caffeine today. It's like, but like it's just Carolina Hammerhead and Scalloped Hammerhead look virtually exactly alike, and like I would be absolutely blown away. Everybody would be blown away if somebody could tell them apart in life. Anyway, totally random. Let's move on to Dentition. Ornate Wobbegong is an ambush predator that possesses long teeth lacking lateral cusplets. 2 long and sharply pointed teeth in the upper jaw and 3 in the lower jaw. Let's take a look at the jaw set. I hope usually Shark References has that. Oh, cool. There's more English names here. The banded carpet shark, the banded wobbegong, carpet shark, Gulf wobbegong, ornate wobbegong. Okay, that was not as exciting as I thought it was going to be, but oh well. Oh, I see. Look at this. Oh, that's actually kind of crazy. I can't zoom in any further. Let me go back here. But look at this. This is a very strange jaw set where you have the 3 teeth here in the very front, the 2 fangs, if you will, at the top jaw. And then you do have rows of other teeth, but not as prominent as these. So this is what the Florida Museum of Natural History was talking about. Rows of 3 teeth in the lower jaw and 2 teeth in the upper jaw, creating these like gripping fangs. So very cool, very unique too. Like it's almost kind of like a precision bite in terms of like it's gotta like hit the fish right at the middle to hook it. Very unique jaw set, really unlike anything we've covered. The spotted wobbegong at one of our early streams, but it's still such a strange tooth type as far as like aside from the spotted wobbegong, we've never really seen this before, so it's pretty cool. Roy, sorry, I just saw that. Is the Carolina hammerhead also named the golden hammerhead by fishermen? Is that a real thing? Hold on. That's actually really cool. There is the... You know what? There's also the small eye hammerhead, which sometimes... I think it actually is sometimes named... Let's see. The golden hammerhead. Okay, it is the small eye hammerhead. Because I've heard... Okay, the small eye hammerhead is nicknamed the golden hammerhead. Oh shoot, and that is unfortunately it's a critically endangered species. So that was one of the species. I had another video, the critically endangered sharks video. So that was one of them, Serena Tudes. But I forgot that was called that. It's because of its like coppery skin, or I guess golden skin. It's like shimmering skin. So I would be open to that being reattributed. Yeah, it's a small eye. I mean, like, actually, you know what? Like, the Carolina hammerhead, it probably, because it looks functionally similar, or essentially similar to scalped hammerhead, probably, I would be open to naming that, like, the silver hammerhead, or, like, the platinum hammerhead, as far, in reference to, like, you know, an expert, like master level, highest degree of shark science could tell that apart in the wild. I don't know. Like, now making no sense, but like, I don't know. Like, if I had to like pose like a like that's the most difficult challenge. I can't think of another shark like that where it's like, explain to me how the scalped hammerhead and the Carolina, actually no, show me, like, if you presented someone with a Carolina hammerhead and scalped hammerhead, like, show me the difference, you know, and like that'd be an incredible challenge. It's like, this is really nerdy, but I don't know if you guys have seen Spirited Away. It's kind of like the end scene in Spirited Away where the main character has to find her parents. It's, I don't know, I'm getting that vibe from it. So I don't know if you know this, but I am a huge Miyazaki fan. I love the Miyazaki movies. I've not seen the newest one, sadly, yet. The Boy and the Heron. I'm really excited for it though. But I think I've seen every other one. So big fan. Let's see. So we were on Florida Museum of Natural History a little bit. So because we were on the teeth. Let's see. Maximum recorded size of the ornate wobbegong is about 120 centimeters, or nearly 4 feet total length. This measure was previously thought higher due to misattribution with another wobbegong. The ornate wobbegong reaches maturity about 80 centimeters, or 2.6 feet, and size at birth is about 20 centimeters, or about 8 inches. So, yeah, that's actually a pretty sizable pup for a mid-sized shark. So, the ornate wobbegong is an ovoviviparous species, meaning that the embryos feed initially on yolk stores, but then can gain nutrients from other sources. The ornate wobbegong is considered either strict lycanthropic or incipient hysterotropic viviparous. In first case, yolk would provide all embryonic nutrition, and second, a small quantity of nutrients would be supplied by uterine secretions. So this is actually really cool because we talked about that. Sure I got this right. Hold on. Let me make sure I got this. Yes, carpet sharks. Some carpet sharks lay eggs, and it's kind of cool that this is a kind of carpet shark that is ovoviviparous. Is always the trickiest one, where it's like it's the best way to explain it is like it's kind of like eggs inside the mother's body. So, so the embryos at first are on the yolk, like from eggs, but then they transition into something that's closer to live birth. It's so cool to see that it's such a unique and strange mode of reproduction in the same order as egg-laying, a lot of egg-laying sharks. So, the ornate wobbegong gives live birth to at least 12 pups per litter, with each measuring about 20 centimeters in total length. Gestation period is approximately 10 to 11 months, with pups born in September or October. Now this is actually kind of cool because Australian September and October would be spring, right? Right, spring. That would be spring in Australia. So, so that makes sense. That actually makes sense as far as warming waters and rising availability of prey items. So very cool. Food habits. Bony fish are the most common prey item, particularly green moray. That is awesome. So this shark actually eats moray eels. That is so cool. Snapper and blackfish. They also feed prominently on cephalopods, as well as some crustaceans, sharks, and rays. The ornate wobbegong and the moray thing. Sorry, the moray thing is really cool because like that is also like such a classic reef species, like reef associated species, like moray eels going through those crevices, also being a top predator of the reef. It's cool to think about ornate wobbegons just snapping them up. It's so cool. The ornate wobbegong uses a sit-and-wait ambush strategy that relies on its camouflage coloration pattern and lure of its dermal flaps to trick potential prey into its range. It's so cool. This shark is so cool, dude. When a prey item does come within range, the wobbegong ambushes it with a quick snap of its jaws. However, wobbegons have also been seen actively chasing prey, and the ornate wobbegong may employ the strategy as well. Interesting. Any large fish or marine mammals are potential predators. Gotcha. Taxonomy, we won't go through the whole thing. The genus name Orectolobus is derived from the Greek orectos, meaning stretched out, and lobos, meaning lobes. So that makes sense, referring to the tassels. Let's see. A subspecies, Orectolobus ornatus halii from South Australia, is proposed by Whitley in the 40s, or 1940. It can be distinguished from the ornate wobbegong by differences in coloration patterns, smaller adult size, and fewer dermal lobes on the head. It also has a longer pelvic fin to anal fin interspace, small pectoral fins, and relatively smaller claspers in mature specimens. However, it remains to be determined at what level these apparent differences can be recognized, and if it is truly a subspecies of the ornate wobbegong. Very interesting. So, subspecies are fascinating to me because it's like it's weird to consider that they are they're species, so they're able to successfully reproduce, but they're in such distinct populations that they just act different or look different. In sharks, the most prominent example for me is the dusky smoothhound, because in the Chesapeake Bay region, it's a shallow water species that uses estuaries and it's very abundant and loves to be in like shallow like seagrass environments or muddy environments. It's a shallow water species up here. But in the tropics, it's an island species that lives in deep water, like I think up to 800 meters. So that's like a Twilight Zone shark. So those are two very distinct populations of the same species. And there's Muscles canis canis is the shallow water species. Muscles canis insularis is the island species. And they're that different, but the same species. It's such a weird concept. One is timber rattlesnakes. Timber rattlesnakes, very venomous rattlesnake in eastern North America. There's the mountain population, which is called the timber rattlesnake. And then in the coastline and in swampy areas, there's the canebrake rattlesnake, which is like, it occupies a completely different habitat, but it's the same species. So it's just... some species are weird. It's weird that it's like they're reproductively successful, but they can occupy just such completely different niches. So, I love it. I didn't know that the green moray would be one up like that. It's awesome. Yeah, I agree. It's so cool. Oh, hey, Minja's Lucky for Me. Spirited Away is the only work of his I have seen, so at least I can get what you're referring to. Yeah, like it's definitely the classic, and then my favorite is Howl's Moving Castle is my favorite. Many my one of my friends really loves that one. My girlfriend loves that one. My brother and his girlfriend think I'm crazy for loving that one. But I recommend it. I really love Howl's Moving Castle. It's also, random fun fact, Christian Bale is in the English version, and that's the first demonstration of his Batman voice, and that's before the whole Batman series. So, yeah, sorry, random pop culture outlets. Let's see. Nocturnal, preliminary habitat at night. again, love the whole attacks, waders, and fishers and tide pools. Like, I love this because like fish base is very brief. Like fish base profiles are very, very brief. Great repository of information on species, but like I love that of the fish base brief. Ornate Wobbegong attacks waders, fishers, and tide pools. Love that. So, like it means it's a thing. So, I think with that we can get into more of the research. Like all these tabs I have open, you probably can't see them on the display screen, but like they're all abstracts, but each abstract is actually kind of fascinating. So it's kind of like a cool little bite-size piece of information on the Ornate Wobbegong. So, so I think we'll start with Australian Museum, and since it's getting closer to 10:30. Please let me know in the comments sharks you'd like to review next week. We're about to dive into more of the science of the Ornate Wobbegong, but this has already been a really fun stream. Like, the species is so cool. Let me know anything you'd like to see next week. And I have no suggestions. Also, like, I'm trying to... I know I mentioned a while ago a fossil special, and I'm still trying to put that together, but yeah, let me drop... the official Dr. Jaws email, hold on, sharks@gmail.com. So just as a random thing, please feel free to share fossil photos, ideally with descriptions. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pull together like a kind of like a slideshow, kind of like what we did with the holiday special with the artwork of fossils. I know a lot of our viewers have fossils and like have their own collections of shark fossils, and if you want to showcase your fossils and kind of have like I think for the fossil special, one of the big things is I do want to go through like whatever fossils you like to share, as well as my own collection, and kind of see if we can like arrange them on the time period, like on the time scale, and kind of like piece together like patterns of shark evolution, and like kind of like see the actual biodiversity of ancient sharks that they're no longer here. I think it'd be really cool. I know we have a lot of really like passionate fossil people in our community, so you know, this is gonna take a couple weeks to put together. I was working with someone on it, and like their schedule has been really busy, so like but this was one of the ideas that we had, was like putting together like a repository of fossils. So if you guys want, if anybody wants to kind of share their like any like photographs, and ideally with written descriptions of what kind of shark this is and guesses on the time frame, please feel free to send directly to drjawssharks@gmail.com. And I'll put together kind of the repository for the fossil special. So, and there's more stuff with the fossil special, but just, you know, I know it's been a while since I've sent an update on that, but yeah, please feel free to do that. So, oh, Minjas, have you already done the Smalley hammerhead that we brought up earlier? I don't think we did, actually. So, also the mixed opinions on Howl's Moving Castle. I'm just gonna say. I think I love my brother. I think he's incorrect about Howl's Moving Castle. I think it is a solid movie. I think it's fantastic. So, I definitely recommend it. But yeah. So, and thank you, Howard. I'll send some photos. I know you have an awesome collection. So, I'm really excited to see. Because like I know on the stream, been really lucky enough to see some of the fossils already. So, please go ahead and send just with ideal with tags and information. Again, it's going to take a couple weeks to really put everything together, but the fossil special is still happening. I just wanted to send an update on that. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see kind of like the collection overall. You know, and like I'm surprised that I actually have as much as I have on my end. Like, I was looking at it the other day, and I actually think I have a baby Meg, in which totally did not catch my eye before, because it's like it's really tiny. It's like what is it? Like It's almost kind of like a thumbtack. It's very, very small. But I was looking at it the other day and I was like, you know what, that's a really triangular tooth. And it has the burlette. And I was like, oh my god, that actually might be a megalodon. Like a very tiny megalodon, but like a megalodon. So I will take a photo of that and then put that in the special just to kind of confirm and get everybody's opinion on what it actually is. But I actually think it might be a meg, which is really exciting if it is, because I've been... Like, we have the megs here, like meg fossils here, but like, you know, never found like the big famous ones yet. So yeah. But yeah, for next week, the Smalleye hammerhead, that would be perfect. I don't think we've done that because we've done we've done the great hammerhead, and I'm pretty sure we did the scout hammerhead. But Smalleye hammerhead would be fantastic. So let me just double check. Dun, 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 dun. Bull smooth hound. We've done the bonnet head, great hammerhead, winghead. Wow, we've done quite a few actually. Let's do this guy. Let's do it. So we'll definitely do that. That's the great suggestion, Minjas. So Smalleye hammerhead Spherenatudes. Okay. Woo! Okay, that is going to be awesome. So, excellent conservation shark as well. So yeah, next week will be the Smalleye hammerhead Spherenatudes. So, awesome, awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and check out this. I do love the Australian Museum profiles. We'll just kind of scan through this really quick. And you know what? This one's interesting. This is an Ornate Wobbegong. It threw me off a little bit because like it doesn't have like the dark black or dark brown bands, but it does have the bands on the fins. Like it does have the blotches, and the spots are small. It does not have this. It doesn't have the rosettes of the spotted Wobbegong. So, oh man. Alright, let's see. We'll just kind of scan through this, see if there's any new information. The species is usually golden brown with broad dark areas and bluish gray spots above. It is yellowish green below. The margins of the fins have dark spots. That's a little odd coloration notes. Interesting. The similar looking spotted wobbegong occurs in temperate Australian coastal waters from southern Queensland to southwestern Western Australia. It can be distinguished from the banded wobbegong by its color pattern, which consists of broad dark saddles and distinct circles formed by groupings of small white dots. Oh, the banded carpet shark looks similar to the banded wobbegong. Underwater, they can be difficult to tell apart. Both have saddles, spots, and blotched edges in black. Orectolobus halii is a larger fish growing to at least 2 meters in length, which has a pelvic fin insertion at about level first dorsal fin midpoint. Let's check that out actually. So, and the naming is confusing because when you say carpet shark, it sounds like you're talking about like a different group, but this is, oh no. It is a wobbegong, also known as the Gulf wobbegong. Oh no. Oh no, that looks so similar. Whoa, that looks really similar. Okay, so that looks terrifyingly similar. That looks so similar. You know what? You know what I said about like the cloudy eyes? Let's go back to that other shark. Hold on. Where was he? That looks unbelievably similar. This one. Is this Ornate Wobbegong or is this a Gulf Wobbegong? Whew. That's crazy. Hold on. Where are we? Australian Museum. Orectolobus halii. Let's check that out really quick. Okay, we could tell the Ornate Wobbegong from the spotted Wobbegong. Let's see if we could tell the Ornate Wobbegong from the Gulf Wobbegong. Oh no, this looks a little crazy. What is this? This is a what? This is a Gulf wobbegong eating potentially an ornate wobbegong. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is like a plot twist. This is like what is going? Hold on. Oh, this is so cool. Wait, I actually do love this photo. This is a Gulf wobbegong with two Port Jackson sharks. Look at that. Just chilling all together. All of them. I don't know the Gulf wobbegong's conservation status, but we know the Port Jackson sharks are doing okay. We know that the Ornate Wobbegong is doing okay. So, oh man. Anyway, more importantly, sorry, sticking with the mission, what is the difference? I guess we'll stick with this photo because you can see the patterning. What is the difference between this species and this species? Let me get a different photo. Okay, so this actually might be expert level because this is a little crazy. Here we go. I think this would be a fair one to compare to. Oof, they look really close. They look really, really close. I'm just like looking at the saddles. You got 1, 2, 3 dark saddles. 1, 2, 3 dark saddles. Oh, that's crazy. That's actually, I can't believe these are like. Can you guys see any differences between these two species? The Gulf wobbegong and the ornate wobbegong. So this one here is a Gulf wobbegong. This is an ornate wobbegong. That's actually crazy. Plot twist. That's actually. That one photo of the Gulf wobbegong eating potentially an ornate wobbegong is like, yeah, we have an imposter among us. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, so this is fascinating at face value. This is also, thank goodness that the ornate wobbegong is actually doing okay, because if that was an endangered species, the ability to tell these apart, like, that really matters, you know, in terms of like, say one of them is endangered, one of them is not. And that's really unlikely, by the way, because it's like, I would say, it seems like Australia, I know in that fisheries management blurb from IUCN Red List, Australia treated the wobegongs all the same. So, you know, ultimately, maybe it's actually okay in terms of like, since the management measures were applied to all the wobegongs, it's probably fine that they look so similar. But in other circumstances, like if, you know, in other places or other kinds of species, if they look exactly the same like this, that makes conservation really difficult. Because it's like, how do you inform the public, you know, like the difference between these two species? And on that note, I mean, like even like shark experts, it's like, how can you tell these apart? Like I cannot find a difference between these two. Going back to the Australian Museum, let's go back to the Ornate Wobbegong page. Ornate Wobbegong. Okay, the Gulf wobbegong, also known as the banded carpet shark, looks similar to the Ornate wobbegong, also known as the banded wobbegong. The names are so confusing. Orectolobus ornatus is our shark. Orectolobus halei is the other one, among us. Underwater, they can be difficult to tell apart. Both have saddle spots and blotches edged in black. Orectolobus halei is a larger fish, growing to at least 2 meters in length, which has a pelvic fin insertion at or above the level of the first dorsal fin midpoint, versus pelvic fin insertion slightly anterior to the first dorsal fin midpoint in the ornatus, which only grows to about 1.1 meter in length. Wow. Let's go back to that wild photo. That's okay. So it's the positioning of the fins, and that's infuriating because wobbegons are so complex in their color palette. But like, it's where the fins are in relation to one another that you can tell the species apart. And are above the level of the first dorsal fin midpoint. Pelvic fin insertion slightly anterior to the first dorsal fin midpoint. It's hard to tell because this individual is contorted a little bit, but my guess is this is actually a larger Gulf wobbegong eating a smaller Gulf wobbegong, but it would be kind of wild if this is a Gulf wobbegong eating an ornate wobbegong, because apparently Gulf wobbegongs get larger than ornate wobbegons, even though they look exactly the same. So that's quite terrifying, actually. Pretty amazing. I had no idea that they look so similar, but yeah. The banded wobbegong is usually seen. We'll just go back to wrapping up with our sweet great ornate wobbegong, also known as banded wobbegong. English names are so confusing. Thank goodness we have scientific names. But the ornate wobbegong is usually seen in clear water on inshore reefs and offshore islands to depths of at least 50 meters. Divers most often see the ornate wobbegong lying on the bottom during daylight hours. Let's see. Okay, so that's our Australian profile. We'll kind of do a crash course of the research. So here we go. The wobbegong, Howard, yes, tricky to tell apart. The wobbegong drama is real. Yeah. So here, starting with this is a fish identification guide to Western Australian sharks. Here we go. Wobbegons, small to large sharks with flattened bodies, numerous nasal barbels, and elaborate coloration. 6 species in Western Australia. And this actually might be outdated because I think the new IUCN Red List, yeah, we don't have the ornate wobbegong in Western Australia. So, but let's just check this out anyway. Significant species in Western Australia: the banded, the cobbler, the spotted, the tasseled, and the western. And it has, it has written descriptions, large spiracles, large mouth in front of eyes. I mean, we all kind of know what a wobbegong looks like. The more important thing is, like, I think this particular piece might be outdated because the range map is not correct. The ornate wobbegong lives in eastern Australia. So we'll move on from that to this one. What is this? And these are just abstracts, so here we go. Habitat preferences and site fidelity of the ornate wobbegong on rocky reefs of New South Wales. So we'll just kind of scan through this. Okay. Of 6 rocky reef habitats, the ornate wobbegong exhibited a significant preference for sponge gardens, artificial structures, and barren boulders habitats. Interesting. So our shark likes sponges. What's kind of fun about that is I think I distinctly remember in this particular clip, and I think this is kind of more coincidence, but I think I remember this particular individual rubbing up against a sponge. So, but I think that's just coincidence. There he is. Yeah, he is right next to a sponge. And he pushes the sponge. Wobbegong commentary, I think, would be quality content. So, I mean, I really like our format currently, but maybe one day Wobbegong commentary could be a future for this channel. So, let's see. So, it's kind of cool that they preferred sponge gardens, artificial structures, and barren boulders. There's no difference in habitat preference between male and female and large or small individuals. Ornate wobbegong selected daytime resting positions with a high topographic complexity. That's actually really cool. That's what makes coral reef environments extremely cool to begin with, is that they work like tropical rainforest in the sense that they are, and actually I guess temperate forest as well, where it's it's that complexity of the environment demands a higher sensory perception for a lot of animals, and it's really cool. Like you get such a diversity of like evolution as far as like new niches to like highly super camouflaged fish and shrimps and other invertebrates, like, you know, so much sensory information happening as far as like trying to find prey items in such a structurally complex environment. So it's really cool that there's a shark that is down for that and that like selects that and like has evolved with that. It's so cool. Ornate Wobbegong selected daytime resting positions with a high topographic complexity and crevice volume, and did not select on the basis of prey availability. Again, this shark wants to avoid predators rather than find prey, because I'm assuming is that prey is pretty abundant in these reef environments anyway. Oh, and there you go. Yeah, habitat and microhabitat preference may be related to the need for predator avoidance. Regular monitoring of 40 individually identified ornate wobbegons revealed that none was a permanent resident of the study area. 7 individuals exhibited short-term temporary fidelity to the study area. They were recited frequently for part of an intensive 100-day survey. This sounds like a really fun study to work on. Remaining individuals are temporary visitors. They were recited at most once after initial identification or returning after extended absences. Monthly population surveys confirmed the turnover of ornate wobbegons in the study area. The lack of long-term site fidelity suggests that small marine reserves will be ineffective as a conservation strategy for ornate wobbegons. So apparently they have a larger range, which is really cool. Very, very cool to think about. Let's see. Reproductive synchrony of 3 sympatric species of wobbegong shark in New South Wales. Reproductive parameter estimates necessary for population modeling. I'll just kind of skim through this. This is the ornate wobbegong, the Gulf wobbegong, so the drama wobbegong, and I'm not... Orectolobus maculatus is the... Which one is that one? The spotted wobbegong. Okay. So it's the big 3. It's the spotted wobbegong, the ornate wobbegong, and then the Gulf wobbegong. Oh man, such drama. Okay, these 3 were investigated to contribute to a biological basis for the management of a commercial fishery targeting wobbegons. These species of wobbegong had synchronous triennial reproductive cycles. Okay. Follicles took 2 years to enlarge before ovulation. During the first year, follicles remained small, then grew rapidly during the second year before ovulation during November. Interesting. So all 3 of these sharks kind of have a very similar life history strategy. Pregnant ornate wobbegons and spotted wobbegons are frequently caught in northern New South Wales, and no pregnant wobbegons or females with large yolky follicles are captured south of Sydney. Differences in the reproductive conditions of wobbegons caught in northern and central New South Wales suggest a geographically dependent reproductive behavior. Knowledge of reproductive parameters provided in this paper necessary for adequate fisheries management and species conservation assessments. Interesting. So it's actually interesting that pregnant wobbegons are north of Sydney. Let's kind of see. Oh, and that's actually, Sydney is the southern limit of the ornate wobbegons range anyway. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Kind of keep going, but I really do like, you know, these like kind of bite-sized pieces of information as far as science goes. So, quantitative diet assessment of wobbegong sharks in New South Wales. Let's see. It's the same species, the ornate wobbegong, the spotted wobbegong, and the Gulf wobbegong. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. The diet of all 3 species was primarily osteichthyans, both some cephalopods and chondrichthyans, so bony fish, cephalopods, and sharks and rays. Interest-specific differences in diets were related to total length of the shark. Octopuses were more frequent in the diet of the ornate wobbegong than other wobbegong species, possibly through the smaller adult size facilitating capture of octopuses in small holes and crevices. Interesting. The Gulf wobbegong fed more frequently on pelagic species and chondrichthyans, possibly because of their greater mobility. Wobbegongs feed at a high trophic level, and their removal from the ecosystem may impact lower trophic levels. So it's kind of cool learning more about the differences between these wobbegongs. And again, this photo is really interesting because this could be a Gulf wobbegong. This could be on the right. This could be a spotted wobbegong. Ornate wobbegong on the left. And it's like the smaller ornate wobbegong is a good like specialist for smaller prey items, and then the Gulf wobbegong. There's something about it looks the same and it's just bigger. And like it can eat the other one. It's just there's something terrifying about that. But anyway, the Gulf wobbegong, by being bigger, can handle larger prey items, and yeah, it's so bizarre. Like learn the differences between these two, and then the spotted wobbegong, which looks nothing alike. So fascinating. Let's see. I really appreciate this comment, by the way. Wobbegongs feed at a high trophic level, and the removal from the ecosystem may impact lower trophic levels. So these have an integral part in their coral reef environment, and it's actually interesting applying the fact that they have larger ranges, in a sense, like, you know, they impact multiple reefs, and you know, they're top predators across multiple reefs. So it's just really cool to see. Hey Quackers, what's up? No worries. I'm glad you're here. This has been crazy. Like, so we've been learning about wobbegongs, and you know, there are three main species we've been like. Tonight's species has been the ornate wobbegong. We've done the spotted wobbegong. I think it was last year that we covered that shark, and we saw the difference between the two species as far as the color palette goes. And like, I was so excited, and I thought we were we are shark experts. We are all awesome on this community, but you know, I thought we could rest on our laurels until we saw a virtually identical species, the Gulf wobbegong. So this is the ornate wobbegong, and this is the Gulf wobbegong, and they look essentially the same, except the Gulf wobbegong is larger and potentially might be eating an ornate wobbegong. So the wobbegong drama has been pretty high tonight, which is pretty fascinating. So let's see. Let's keep going to assessing the distribution and relative abundance of wobbegong sharks in New South Wales. It's really cool to see that this species is very, very well studied. You know, and it's kind of arguably maybe a great case study species, or it's really cool to see that it's a well researched shark in Australia, because like in America we have like the dogfish, like the pike dogfish, or sandbar sharks. Like those are so well researched in the United States, and in Australia it's kind of cool to see that this species seems to be the star of a lot of research. So, and especially in New South Wales. So, and assessing. What a cool study. Assessing the distribution and relative abundance of wobbegong sharks in New South Wales, Australia, using recreational scuba divers. So it's divers going down to a reef and counting sharks. That's so cool. That is such like I feel like that's a really uncommon study, honestly. So that's so cool. Let's see. They referenced that there was a dramatic reduction in catch. It's actually cool that this was in 2009. And the protective measure was implemented in 2008. So ornate wobbegongs are least concerned now. They're actually doing really well partially as a result of that protective measure, which is great. So this is actually cool to see the timing of this particular paper. Let's see. Opportunistic sightings of wobbegongs collected by recreational scuba divers were Oh, no, never mind. I got this wrong. They are the scientists, the authors of this paper, are taking the observations of recreational scuba divers. So people who are just diving for fun, they're taking their observations for research, which is really cool. Opportunistic sightings of wobbegongs collected by recreational scuba divers were used to assess the distribution and relative abundance of wobbegongs in New South Wales. 304 dives, 454 wobbegongs were reported. It's a really cool number, like a pretty high amount. Larger numbers of wobbegongs were sighted in northern compared to southern New South Wales. Again, it's pretty interesting because Sydney is the southern limit of the ornate wobbegong, so it is interesting that, and it makes sense because like the further north you go, the more tropical it is. So it makes sense. Spotted and ornate wobbegongs were sighted in similar numbers, but species composition was highly variable across locations. Only a few juvenile and newborn spotted wobbegongs were sighted, whereas small ornate wobbegongs were mostly sighted north of central New South Wales. The latter were possibly the third cryptic species, the dwarf ornate wobbegong. Interesting. The paucity of sightings of small wobbegongs suggests that juveniles and newborns are inconspicuous to divers, where the small wobbegongs are found in areas not visited by divers. Potential species and size segregation suggests that closing areas to fishing may enable populations to sustain current levels of commercial exploitation. And that's what they didn't close the areas, but they did, like, create a size limit, which eventually helped the wobbegongs rebuild their population. So, the cost effectiveness of using recreational scuba divers to opportunistically collect distribution and relative abundance data was apparent from the study. However, the lack of spatial and temporal homogeneity in diving efforts suggests that future studies should consider incorporating organized surveys and a facilitator rather than using opportunistic records of sightings. Interesting. Man, lots of cool papers. Lots of really cool research on the species. It's almost 11. I think I might just pick one more before we wrap up tonight. So let's see. Visual adaptations might sound interesting. There's one that really caught my eye. It might be this one, actually. Let's see. The mechanosensory lateral line system in two species of wobbegong shark. Let's see. So the lateral line is the feature on all sharks that senses pressure in the environment. Comparative studies of the lateral line have provided valuable insights into predatory escape and navigation behaviors of fish and or bony fish and elasmobranch fishes. Let's see. In this study, the spatial arrangement of lateral line canals and pit organs and the morphology of the sensory neuromass are described for two species of wobbegong shark, the spotted wobbegong and the ornate wobbegong. Wobbegongs are benthic species that employ an ambush feeding strategy, and it is hypothesized the lateral line will be adapted for both these ecological traits. The spatial distribution of the lateral line system in both species is broadly similar to other elasmobranchs, with a dorsal concentration of canals and pit organs as ideally suited for detecting water flow over the top of the head. This arrangement may facilitate the detection of prey and predators swimming above and in front of the shark, which makes sense because it's an ambush predator, so that makes sense. The non-port canals positioned directly above the mouth may be used as a mechanotactile receptors to optimize touch sensation when feeding. Wobbegong canal and pit organ neuromass hair cell morphology is typical of other sharks. However, canal neuromass sensory tissue differs from other elasmobranch species and is not continuous throughout the canals. This study provides evidence that the lateral line system of wobbegong sharks is well adapted for their rather unique feeding mode and benthic lifestyle. Very cool. Very cool. I love those subtle details as far as a shark's specific niche. So it's really cool, and it makes sense that the lateral line system would be uniquely adapted to the ambush lifestyle, but it's so cool. I think that was it. Just want to make sure I'm not missing something that really caught my eye, but I think that was it. Because most of these are about reproduction. I think that was it. So And I think we'll end on, and we'll slow this down like a little bit. Oops. I think we'll end on this incredible clip of the Ornate Wobbegong in Sydney. So yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just catching up on the comments. And potentially maybe eating the other Wobbegong. That's going in the files. A significant difference between the two. Love it. What's your job? I count sharks. Yes. Oh my god. That was like that was my dream occupation. And honestly, that particular kind of like work, really, really rare. But what's really cool is that, and I knew this before, but like it's becoming more and more apparent as I continue my own scuba journey. But there's actually quite a few programs, both I know PADI and SSI have this, where you actually do learn, you actually can be certified in conservation specialties, and divers do help in research products. It's not common, but it can be really helpful as far as like, for example, this iNaturalist. This repository, well, like not this photo specifically, but let's just go back to this one. This repository of information is really helpful because like there's tags on location, there's verified records of these species in life. You can infer a lot from the data that divers collect, and even submitting in a form like this is a form of collection of data. So, but anyway, yeah, the counting sharks, dream job. So, oh my gosh, so. I just love this clip so much. Look at it go. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. And we'll finish with this clip. We'll watch the whole clip, or the clip in full, because it's just such a good shot of the Ornate Wobbegong. And then also, yes, Quackers, if your questions relate to shark counting, so to do it on the research track, you would have to. You don't necessarily need to complete a program, but it was like you would have to be involved in the research program, and it would have to be in an area with clear water, and it would have to be a study that hasn't been done before, and it's possible to still do. Hey Roy, good night. Glad to see you. Glad you're here, and hope you have a great rest of your week. So thank you for being here. But. Oh man, just love this comment. It totally is a form of data collection. I never really thought of it like that, but it's so true. Yeah. But yeah, so for the formal research route, it would have to be, you would have to get involved in it has to be a department that would do that as part of the research. And it's not impossible, but the probability is really low, as far as I know, like the probability is really, really low, like because it would have to be, you'd have to do undergraduate in biology, and then you would have to get involved with a shark research lab that is doing scuba diving counts, and that would have to be a tropical area, and it would have to be an area that hasn't really, or that is in need of surveying the sharks in that way. It's not impossible, and I would say maybe Florida potentially has shark counting programs like that. Maybe tropical areas of the world that actually don't have a lot of research, potentially could be a way to do that. But then, kind of a easier path is a lot of scuba divers, through PADI or SSI. There are shark ecology courses. There are shark specialist courses that, it is recreational diving, so you're not necessarily a shark researcher, but you are providing observations for shark research. And sorry, this clip is so good, we're definitely going to play it one more time, and we'll play it on normal speed. Like there are like you can submit observations or submit data voluntarily through the big scuba diving schools like PADI and SSI. There are ways to do that. I would say that's the most reliable way to kind of do like the shark counting job, if you will. I mean, probably does not pay well, But like, it's not impossible. So sorry, that was a random tangent. But yeah, like, yeah, if you there's a way to do it in the formal education route that's really specific and would take a lot of dedication and like some probability maybe. Or I think through the scuba diving route, like the recreational scuba diving route, there's another way to do that may not be necessarily research specific or research oriented, but it is possible. So, and also Crackers, just a quick comment on the video. This is really cool clip of an Ornate Wobbegong because we were trying to figure out earlier why it's behaving the way it's behaving. Where it definitely is, it's not swaying away. It definitely is interested in the sight. We don't know why. So we were trying to figure out like try to read the shark's behavior. So we were I think Howard mentioned it could be looking for prey, or it could be avoiding the diver, and it could be honestly a mix of both. It could be looking for an ambush site. So it's impossible to really 100% tell. But we all love this clip because the shark is it's an awesome shark in its own way, but it's also adorable in terms of like it's looking down on people and like definitely clearly very active and definitely clearly like like it's not acting. It's described as a sluggish species in the daytime, but it's definitely not sluggish right now. It is definitely quite twitchy and very excited about this area. So, but more on that in the beginning of the stream. As always, the streams are replayable, so they're always on this channel. So, and I think since it's a little past 11, we'll wrap it up for tonight. But thank you guys again so much for watching. Next week, we're going to tune in with the small eye hammerhead, also known as the golden hammerhead. And I forgot it was named that, actually. So Roy pointed that out earlier, that the small eye hammerhead, which is a critically endangered species, is also named as the golden hammerhead. So, but thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next week with the small eye hammerhead. Cheers, guys, and have a good one. Bye.